this is Dr. Shruti and today I'll be teaching you two methods of blood collection. Gloves, semi-automatic lancet, spirit and cotton. Blood is collected for various reasons: hematological, biochemical, serological and microbial culture. Finger prick method is mainly used when we require small quantity of blood, for example hemoglobin estimation, WBC count or RBC count. The site that we use in adults for finger prick method is ring finger, ear lobule. In infants we use heel, great toe or pad of the thumb. To start with the procedure, first you have to perform hand hygiene. This ring finger with two fingers at this back to maintain a steady pressure. Then you have to massage the ring finger in this way to increase the flow of blood. After that, you have to take spirit and cotton to clean that area where you will be puncturing, and make sure wipe the area in one direction, for example from inside to outside, so that there is no contamination to the puncturing site. The site should be sterile. After that, you have to pick lancet from the other hand, but make sure you don't do any manipulation to this finger. Massage should be done only once before puncturing. So you have to pick lancet and you have to give a bold pressure. Make sure you don't collect the first drop of blood. You have to wipe it with the cotton and then wait for adequate amount of blood to be formed, for example 3 mm, and that is okay for like small quantity of blood we require for hemoglobin estimation, WBC count or RBC count. After adequate amount of blood is collected, you have to pick cotton and you have to apply pressure so the blood stops. One tip: one deep puncture is less painful than 2 or 3 superficial punctures. At the end, make sure you discard all the sharps that you have used for this finger prick method. Second method of blood collection is vene puncture. For that we require gloves, spirit, cotton, tourniquet, syringe and needle, vacutainers, vacutainer holder, the method by which blood is collected from the vein, it is known as venipuncture method or phlebotomy. The blood by venipuncture method, it is used for various reasons: hematological, biochemical, serological and microbial culture. To start with the procedure, first you have to perform hand hygiene, then don of the gloves, apply tourniquet 2 or 3 centimeters above the elbow. Ask the subject to open and close the fist so that it fills the vein distal to the tourniquet. You have to clean that area with spirit and you have to maintain only one direction, from center to periphery, so that there is no contamination to the sterile site. Then you have to puncture the vein with 15 to 20 degree to the skin. Then you have to slightly pull the plunger so that negative pressure is created in the syringe. Then you have to slowly advance the needle, and after that you have to slightly pull the plunger. You'll see a little amount of blood, that means you're in the correct place. Then slowly you have to pull this plunger back and you'll see blood getting collected in the syringe. After collection is done, you have to close it in this manner so that you don't puncture yourself. Then you have to collect blood in this vacutainers. We'll talk about vacutainers. These are called vacutainers because it has vacuum inside it. This is called the heparin bulb because it contains the anticoagulant heparin, and it is mostly used for pH analysis, ABG analysis, and it can also be used for LFT, RFT, liver function test, renal function test and electrolytes. Then we have this fluoride bulb. Fluoride because it contains the anticoagulant potassium oxalate, which acts as an anticoagulant, and sodium fluoride. This tube is mostly used for blood sugar analysis. Then we have the citrate bulb because of its content, 3.8% citrate. This tube is mostly used for coagulation studies, activated partial prothrombin time, PPT, prothrombin time. Then we have this plain bulb, red tube. It is called plain because it has no anticoagulants, and this bulb is mostly used for LFT, RFT, serological purpose mostly. Then at the end we have this EDTA bulb, ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, and the anticoagulant that is present in this bulb, it is potassium EDTA, potassium ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, and this bulb is mostly used for hematological purpose, for complete blood count. Then we also use this for HbA1c. That's all for today. If you like my video, do like, share and subscribe.